Welcome to Trouve. Trouve is your AI employee that can do any task on the most complicated softwares such as Oracle's NetSuite, SAP, and Salesforce. You no longer have to spend any time clicking around or figuring out how to do something on these platforms. You just tell Trouve what you are looking to do, and it gets done. Today, we'll see 4 powerful examples of how Trouve can handle complex NetSuite configurations that would normally require deep platform expertise and hours of manual work. For our first example, we're going to ask Trouve to create a sophisticated saved search for tracking overdue invoices. We'll tell Trouve that we need to find all invoices that are more than 30 days overdue with a remaining balance over $10,000. We want to see the customer name, the number of days overdue, and a special column called Strategic Priority. Here's where it gets interesting. We want Trouve to build custom logic into this column. If the balance exceeds $100,000 and the invoice is over 90 days overdue, it should display Immediate Legal. If the balance is between $50,000 and $100,000, it should show Director Review. And if the balance is under $50,000, it should display Account Manager Follow-up, along with the sales rep's name. Finally, we'll specify that this saved search should only be available to one specific employee named Shafin. Trouve comes up with an action plan to build this entire saved search from scratch. We see Trouve create the transaction saved search with the name Overdue Invoices Strategic Priority. It applies the filters. Transaction type is invoice, more than 30 days overdue, and remaining balance over $10,000. Then Trouve configures the results columns. It adds the customer name, adds days overdue, and then, this is the impressive part, Trouve automatically generates the complex SQL formula needed for that strategic priority column. It writes the case when logic perfectly, without us needing to know a single line of code. Finally, Trouve configures the audience settings so that only the employee Shafin can access this saved search. All of this complexity handled in seconds. For our second example, we're going to have Trouve update permissions across multiple executive roles. We'll tell Trouve that all C-suite and VP roles need view-only permissions over audit trails, edit permissions over journal entries, the exact same permissions for paying bills as accountants have, and the same permissions for sales orders as sales managers. This is a task that would normally require you to manually open each role, cross-reference permissions from other roles, and update them one by one. Watch what Trouve does. First, Trouve fetches the complete list of all 28 roles in the system to identify which ones are C-suite and VP roles. It finds CEO, CFO, Chief People Officer, and Sales Vice President. Then, Trouve opens the accountant role to check what permission level they have for paying bills. It does the same for the sales manager role to check their sales orders permission. Now Trouve has all the information it needs. We see Trouve update each matching role one by one. 4 roles updated with 4 permissions each, all handled automatically because Trouve understood the relationships between roles and permissions. For our third example, we're going to have Trouve redesign a customer-facing PDF template. We'll tell Trouve to make our quote PDF more customer-friendly, remove internal fields, highlight the expiration date, add a project summary section, and clean up the totals. Trouve finds the template, opens the HTML editor, and generates new code to match our requirements. We get a preview of the new PDF, and it looks exactly how we described. Trouve just rewrote an entire advanced PDF template without us touching a single line of HTML. For our final example, we're going to see how Trouve can configure a bundled product with sales restrictions. We'll tell Trouve that we sell air conditioners along with on-site installation, and these two items must always be sold together as a bundle. Sales reps should never have the option to add either item individually to a sales order. Trouve creates both items, bundles them into a kit, then creates a saved search that excludes the individual components. Finally, it updates the sales order form to use that saved search, so sales reps only see the bundle, never the individual items. Trouve understood not just what we wanted, but how to chain multiple NetSuite features together to enforce our business rule. No matter what the task is, Trouve will be able to do it on NetSuite. It is fast, reliable, and magical. Book a call today on trouve.ai to get access.